Hey, it's me. I'm back with more of the Archive of Truth. So here's a little, let's say, what do I want to talk about right now? I forgot already. That's what the I call them the gassers, but another term for them is the New World Order. So they're the old world order. The new world order is coming soon. So let me think about what I want to talk about. It might not come to me. When I have to think really hard about what I want to talk about, usually it doesn't come to me. So um, I'll probably fail. It's probably not uh, going to manifest in my head, but I'll just stay silent and think about what it is I want to say. How about if I'm all the way on the side where you can almost not see one eye, not see one eye. How about that? I need to think about what I want to say. Let's think about that. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Let's keep the recording going. Let's see. In the meantime, I guess I'm going to just continue on my merry way and just do my own thing. It's y'all. Don't sing. Actually, they tried to make me ashamed of me singing, and they tried to make singing out loud uncool because that's something I like to do. I should not be ashamed of that. And if no one else wants to do it, that's okay. I'm marching to the beat of my own drum. I'm uh, I'm an iconoclast. I think for myself. I'm an independent. I'll do my own thing. It's your thing. It's pop. Gotta be honest. It's possible that my verbal skills have been turbocharged by like forces that want me to succeed. So I'm not sure where that came from. It's also possible that my verbal skills have been amplified by me quitting my medication, but uh, I'm not sure what to attribute my successful verbal skills to. Ah. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's look up this motherfucking Rithi Pan right now. He's the only Cambodian celebrity I know of, and he's not even that famous. He's only known within art house film circles. No. Rithi motherfucking Pan. I don't trust him. The only Cambodian I know of who's like giving interviews to this day. I don't trust him. It's too late, but what percentage of Cambodians were killed in the Cambodian genocide? What percentage of Cambodians were supposedly killed in the Cambodian genocide? Let's look it up right now. Yeah, let's see. What percentage of Cambodians were killed in the Cambodian genocide? Supposed Cambodian genocide. That is fucking insane. What the fuck is that shit? Absolutely motherfucking insane. Okay. Stay calm. So, the Cambodian genocide carried out by the Khmer Rouge regime from 1975 to 1979 killed approximately 1.5 to 2 million people out of Cambodia's population of around 7 to 8 million at the time. That's a gigantic difference, 7 and 8 million, when you're talking about a number of millions that's that small. That's a pretty huge difference. You should be able to pin it down better than that. I'm not sure who to blame that mistake on. This represents roughly 20 to 25% of the entire Cambodian population. So basically, they're trying to make this Cambodian genocide look worse than the Holocaust. It's worse if you consider the percentage of people that were killed. That's what they're trying to make it look like. It's an insanely high number of the percentage that was killed. 20 to 25% of Cambodians. What the fuck are you talking about? Why do people never visit Cambodia? Why is it that there are no Cambodian celebrities aside from Rithi Pan, who's not even that famous? I don't think Cambodia is a real country. There's something definitely fishy going on there. They needed to create an Asian villain because they want Asians to look bad. So they create Pol Pot, and then they turn Xi Jinping into like a horrible dictator. He's probably not. Even Koreans, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what Koreans believe, but like I had a cousin who was like talking about like how scary it is, how scary China seems to be, and it's like I I just didn't believe that at the time. I was like, no, it's I don't agree with that. That's what she believed at the time. It was 5 years ago. Um, they turned China into a villain because number one, China is very large and powerful, and number two, China is Asian. And we can hate uh, Putin all we want, but like he's not that much of a villain. Not like Russia is not villainized the way China is villainized. It's not the same. Again, let's think about it. Name a Cambodian celebrity. Name one Cambodian celebrity. Why are there none? Name a Cambodian neighbor. Name a Cambodian you've met and interacted with and had a conversation with before you watched this video. I can't think of one. Why do people never travel to Cambodia? Why is there no Cambodian tourism? What's going on there? Cambodia is not a real country. That is a bombshell. There are countries in the world that we thought were real but are actually fictional. Let's try to uplift Southeast Asia one country at a time. Let's start with Vietnam. Let's, because Northeast Asia gets all the love. Like China, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, people kind of love them, especially the women. But like even the men, they're kind of like it depends on the person, but there's more interest and excitement and just general, just general good feelings about Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans than there are about South Asians. So let's try to uplift South Asians one at a time. Let's start with Vietnam. Um, Vietnamese women. Let's start with something very basic. In my opinion, Vietnamese women are beautiful, and Vietnamese men are probably good looking. The ones I've seen on TV and on in movies are very handsome. So let's try to uplift one Southeast East Asian country at a time, starting with Vietnam. I just realized. Okay, you want two examples. one movie and one TV show where you can see handsome Vietnamese men. Vietnamese women, it's kind of like it should be pretty easy to imagine that Vietnamese women are beautiful. I'm not gonna further um, uh, further try to convince you of that. But Vietnamese, where can you see handsome Vietnamese men in recent movies and TV? Um, One is uh, a a TV miniseries directed by Bak Chan-wook. So let me look that up right now. I'm gonna look up the title. Um, what was the name of that series? Um, Still looking for it. The Sympathizer. So The Sympathizer came out in 2024, and I was not. I only watched the first episode. I didn't continue beyond that, but you can see handsome uh, Vietnamese men as well as beautiful Vietnamese women in that series, or at least in the first episode, which is the only, uh, which is as far as I got. But and then that's one example. And a second example is let me think a little harder on this. I saw a Vietnamese movie. Now that I think about it, this is the very first Vietnamese movie I've ever seen. It came out how long ago? I It's probably just last year. So let me think if I can. How do I find it? It screened at the Cannes Film Festival in 2023, and I saw it probably last year. So Cannes Film Festival 2023 Vietnamese movie. Inside the Yellow Cocoon Shell, which is anyway. Um, that's the movie. So this is a movie I saw last year. It's the very first Vietnamese movie I've ever seen. And I've seen many movies from many countries around the world from the privacy of my home. I'm able to imagine that I can travel the world through movies. And so um, this is the very first Vietnamese movie I'd ever seen. I saw it just last year. Um, it was released in 2023, and I liked it. I didn't love it, but I definitely appreciated it enough that I didn't regret the experience. And so this was um, one thing that that blew me away and still that stuck with me for a long time after I saw it was the number of mopeds in Vietnam. This is different from any other country I've ever seen, including Asian countries. But um, there are a lot of people drive mopeds in Vietnam. This is the norm. I don't know when this started. This probably didn't happen before the Vietnam War, but after it, sometime after it, I don't know how long after, this just became the norm. Like something like 80%, 80 to 90% of the cars on the road are mopeds. They're not like standard cars. You're just like, it's just like a single driver on like basically something that looks like a motorcycle. That's 80 to 90% of the cars in Vietnam. And you can see this by watching the movie itself. You can see it by believing, you can believe it by seeing it with your own eyes. And so this blew me away. because when we think about those kind of cars in the U.S., it's like basically white and Hispanic guys who are driving motorcycles. That's it. But in Vietnam, it's like something like 90% of people are driving mopeds, and their mopeds are pretty similar to motorcycles. This is this is the normal way to drive. Driving a car is rare actually in Vietnam, and I only figured this out by watching this movie. And this is the first Vietnamese movie I've ever seen, and so I only discovered this by watching my first Vietnamese movie. Um, what else? And you can also see the reason the entire reason I brought this up was to mention that you can also see handsome Vietnamese men in this movie as well as beautiful Vietnamese women. Um, those are two examples that I experienced in the year 2024. It Was it a coincidence? Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was directed at me specifically because there are so many people paying attention to my live stream. But um, these are two examples within 1 year where I was able to see Vietnam with my own eyes through film and television. Okay, that's worth uploading.